Herr von Eissinger?
Graf Eissinger?
I have a prisoner for you, sir.
My dear Dick, isn't it incredible that all these people have to fight each other just so that we can meet again?
If you will sign for him, sir.
When you've undone him.
He's still in my charge, sir, until you sign for him.
But if I shake hands with him, it means I'll have to shake hands with you too, doesn't it? Please do what I say. Come in, it's freezing out there on the corridor. You haven't changed at all. Apart from those dreadful clothes. Now what do you want?
If you will sign for him, sir.
You don't propose to remain there, do you?
Order, sir.
Nonsense. People will think I'm under house arrest. Besides, your uniform clashes with the wallpaper.
It's still orders, sir.
We are on the 3rd floor. I doubt if my guest will try to jump out of the window. There is one foyer in this block of flats where the lift and the stairs both emerge. The front entrance and the passage that leads to the alley at the back both open onto the foyer. If you really intend to prevent my friend, and by implication myself, from escaping, you will do so from there. Understand?
Yes, sir. Heil Hitler!
Naturally. Now, before you say a word, and I want to hear all about everything, I really cannot have you in that state. My bedroom's through here. On the bed, you'll find a variety of suits. I got quite a choice. I hope one of them fits you. The bathroom's en suite. You'll find a veranda bath. Oh, these shirts, they're for you too. And then we can chat. I think it is more comfortable to speak English, yeah? Besides, I'm proud of my English. Do go and have your bath. We're only at war. The world hasn't come to an end. Oh, just one thing. I've given my servant the evening off, so I'd be very grateful if you'd give me your word you won't try to escape. Not when you're with me. You can do what you like with anyone else. Only, since I got crippled, I doubt if I could put up more than a token resistance. And I doubt if the Nazis would forgive me. You will give me your word, won't you?
Yes. Well, I'm with you.
Fine. That's better. It's a little tight across the chest, and for myself, I think I might take half an inch off the trouser legs. But quite presentable.
Why have they brought me here?
They wanted me to identify you, that's all. What would you like to drink? I think I've got most things. Sherry, gin, vodka. We get real Russian vodka, by arrangement with Uncle Joe. Scotch? Yeah, whatever you like.
A scotch, please.
Soda or water?
Soda.
Sit down. You know, when this horse rolled over me in the Olympic trials and broke my back, I was so angry I had him shot. Unforgivable. If it hadn't been for him, I'd be sitting in France on some windswept headland pretending to be a soldier. Say when.
Thank you.
To old friends.
If all they wanted was to confirm I'm who I say I am, they wouldn't have to bring me here.
You must allow me a little initiative. I like to see my friends, and if people are stupid enough to
give you the name of my ship?
I didn't even know you were on a ship. Anyway, this government doesn't tell me to do anything. Oh, no, they did say on the phone that you were a naval officer. That you claimed you were a naval officer.
My ship was sunk.
That was bad luck.
I escaped, was caught, and the Gestapo got the idea I was a spy.
Oh, dear. Of course, they are terribly stupid. I hope they weren't as unpleasant as they can be.
I've met people I took to more.
Oh, yes, someone from the SS phoned me this morning. Apparently he'd heard you were coming. They are forming a thing called the Free Corps troops of various nationalities, British among them, who will fight alongside ours.
Against Britain?
Presumably, we've beaten everyone else. He wanted me, that is, if you were indeed the person you claim to be, to use all my diplomatic guile to persuade you to accept a commission in this organization, when it is formed. So I have. Will you?
No.
As I assumed. But if anyone mentions it, I asked you. One has to be very careful. But it won't last much longer, that's the main thing.
The war? My impression is that it's hardly started.
The war as well, but I really meant our government. And people like the Gestapo. The damage they're doing terrifies me.
They're gaining quite a reputation.
That is exactly what I mean. Next thing, everyone will assume that every German is automatically a Nazi.
One doesn't hear much about resistance to them.
That doesn't mean that there isn't any. Believe me, the only thing that's keeping Hitler in power is the fact that there's a war on. Virtually the whole of the diplomatic corps, not that idiot Ribbentrop, of course. Almost all the generals, the more intelligent staff officers, well, all the intelligentsia. The one thing they want is to get rid of Hitler.
One would have imagined they could do just that if they
If
really
they
wanted
sneezed together, they'd blow him back to his native Austria. And the only reason they don't is that they feel committed to supporting him, at least passively, as long as there's a war. What's morale like in Britain?
Good.
I find it terribly touching. But it's a tragedy, Dick. Britain can't possibly win. Everyone knows that.
The British don't.
Why, everyone except the British. Let's be serious. Britain is isolated, not an ally in the world. Germany rules Europe. Now, the last thing I want is a Nazi Germany ruling Europe. But if Britain joined Germany, then all those of us who want to get rid of Hitler, we'd know we'd have the support of Britain. So Hitler would go.
How?
Does it matter how? Whether the army court-martials him or whether he just retires like the Kaiser did. After all, he's always saying he wants to get back to those wretched watercolors of his. How is unimportant. But until Britain realizes her position and realizes who her real friends are and stops forcing all the Germans who hate Hitler to support him because you bracket us all together, until then, I'm afraid we'll have to go on. And we'll go on until Britain surrenders. And you know what I feel about Britain. Well, same again.
Thanks.
If it's all right with you, I've booked a private room at the Adlon for dinner.
Why?
Why the Adlon? Because it's the only decent hotel left in Europe. Or do you mean why a private room?
Why anything?
Friendship. But Dick, I also want to make a suggestion to you. Now, the Adlon restaurant, well, you know what it's like. One may find the next table occupied by the conductor of Berlin Philharmonic, or one may find it occupied by Goebbels or Dönitz.
And what you have to suggest is...
And I'd like it to remain confidential. You see, Dick, there are a number of us, with all modesty, rather important people, who appreciate that we have a unique chance to ensure peace forever by creating the only unchallengeable alliance the world has ever known. Cheers.
Cheers.
All it needs is that Britain make peace now when she has real strength to bargain from, rather than later when she's been broken. Then we'll have a united Europe, which is something that Charlemagne and the Romans never achieved. Protected by the most powerful navy on earth, your navy...
I gathered which navy you
And
meant.
the British Empire protected by the most powerful army on earth.
Yours?
I didn't mean the Italians.
I got the idea somewhere that all this was what Hitler
Who
wanted.
knows what the Führer wants? It varies from minute to minute. He, of course, would go.
And the rest of the world?
Who? The Russians? They wouldn't dare attack us. No, they could devote themselves to writing even longer novels. And to that agricultural research they're so interested in. Making one blade of grass grow where two grew before.
And the Americans?
Oh, I always find it terribly difficult to take the Americans seriously. They put all their most talented people into musical comedies. And all their natural comedians into politics. Well, I presume the Gestapo haven't ruined your appetite with excessive food?
Not exactly.
We might dine a little early then. Graf Eissinger. Send on my car in 5 minutes. The caviar's very good. Now the benefit of our unholy alliance with the Russians. Or there are all the German dishes. You used to like them.
It's a long time since I had caviar.
I think I'll stay with the Bismarck herring. And the roast duckling with sauerkraut. Do you like truffles? What about the pork chops process?
Whatever you say.
Fine. And a bottle of claret, I think. Caviar for the gentleman, and the pork chops brassard, I am having the herring and the duckling. And a bottle of the Eau Briand.
The good sir.
Will you have a salad? Bring us a bowl of gemischt. I'm afraid the service isn't what it used to be. Most of the waiters got called up. Some of these are Poles. Curious place, Poland. Did you ever go there?
No.
It's more an emotional concept than a country. Now, if you'll forgive my brusqueness, I'd like to make a suggestion to you.
I assume there was some other reason you invited me here, apart from old time's sake.
Yes, business and pleasure. Prost.
Prost.
But first, Dick, you must realize that I take a considerable risk in talking to you.
I suppose so, yes.
Until we do finally get rid of our ludicrous Führer, no German can feel really safe.
So?
I have already suggested to you that you accept a commission in the Free Corps.
Which I declined.
Of course. But my next suggestion is serious.
Go on.
The position now is better than most of us dare to hope. Britain's army has been destroyed, but your navy is intact. And your Air Force has done something which no one else has ever managed to do, which is to cut Reichsmarshal Goering down to size.
The Battle of Britain, you mean?
Battle of Britain, not the
But
Battle
that
of
was
Britain.
the
But if the Luftwaffe had won that, I doubt if the ordinary German would accept the idea of a negotiated peace.
You think they would now?
Oh, we Germans are very malleable.
You overthrow the Nazis and have free elections.
And not exactly free elections. It's not one of our national talents. The last few times we tried, Hitler came top.
So who would govern?
Responsible people.
Including you?
Yes, I would expect to be offered a post. Come in. Please do start. You see what I mean? An alliance between Germany and England. Forever. The end of this absurd war between cousins. Britain's empire, guaranteed by the German army.
And who does Britain guarantee?
Is Britain in a position to guarantee anything? The last place you guaranteed was Poland. No, it's quite simple. We have not natural frontiers. For almost all of German history, we have consisted of hundreds of little states. A man thought of himself as a Saxon or a Bavarian or whatever. And a long way after that as a German. We have had to fight 2 major wars to convince ourselves that we really existed.
Where do I come into all this?
In either Germany or England, there are, I think, very few people who want the war. In Germany, now that we've won, there are even fewer who want to continue a war. In England, I cannot believe that most people want to continue a pointless struggle just to flatter the egos of your elderly politicians.
That doesn't sound like the country I left.
We have our contacts in England. People that really matter. You have finished the caviar.
Yes.
Good. I want you to go to certain people whose names I will give you. People who may not know you, but who know me, and who knew your father. And explain that we are now ready to make peace with England, offering her equal partnership and the protection of her empire. And no more Nazis, of course. It is not an ungenerous offer, Dick. In return, England must ask for an armistice.
You seriously think I would do all this? Or could? I'm a prisoner of war, remember?
Indeed. And as a prisoner of war, it is your duty to try to escape. I could help. Come in. I would suggest you left for Sweden.
And may I ask why you trust me?
Because you are an officer and a gentleman. You would give me your word. Of course, it must have occurred to you that I am connected with our intelligence. It more or less goes with the job. Just as your father was with British intelligence. If you broke your word and escaped to England with my help and then didn't make these contacts, or told the British authorities who these contacts were, it wouldn't make any difference. Nobody would believe you. No difference except to you, of course.
Meaning what?
I would feel an obligation to the people I am associated with. Let's not talk about that.
No, let's talk about it. What difference would it make to me?
Oh, believe me, I would hate to do this. But if the whole prospect of a peaceful and united Europe seemed to my colleagues in both our countries to have been put in danger, well, I would have in honor. I find this conversation most distasteful. But the life of one man, even a friend, against the lives of thousands...
Have me killed.
We have an organization in England which could do that, no trouble at all. I only tell you because I know it will not happen.
These people, why couldn't they do your liaison work? Why do you need me?
You underestimate yourself. Obviously, if my colleagues and I are going to risk our lives, our real security being the certain knowledge that at the same moment that we have our coup, Britain will ask for an armistice, which she wouldn't ask for from the Nazis. Then we must work with people we can trust, not with the sort of people who are already working for us in England. It would be a gentleman's agreement. And you can't have a gentleman's agreement without gentlemen. You haven't touched your wine.
In time.
I prepared the spare bed at my flat. You can tell me your decision in the morning.
Just one thing.
Yes?
Your plan. It all depends on Britain recognizing you.
On Britain's request for an armistice, yes.
I want to go back to England.
Splendid.
To go on fighting.
I think that would be a tragedy.
And I want you to help me. As you said, you're taking a risk in telling me all this. I said I wouldn't try to escape while I was with you. I didn't say I wouldn't repeat what you tell me.
My dear Dick, you are a romantic. Who would you tell? And assuming you'd find someone who'd listen, do you think they'd believe me or you?
I could have a damn good try.
No, of course you couldn't. Officially, you are here because I have been asked to identify you. I can and will assure the appropriate authorities that you are indeed my old friend Richard Player. I can also tell them that you say you're an officer in the Royal Navy and that I'm inclined to believe you. But I could not possibly, in good faith, swear that you are not also a British agent. After all, it runs in the family. Think about it. Tell me your decision in the morning.
I've already made my decision. And I won't be needing your offer of a bed.
I wonder how many people you've just condemned to death.
Damn it, you have to have written authority to open your mouth! Where am I being taken?